Nanaji, if you want me to read Shodashodhyaya, you can please tell me, okay?
Okay, don't worry, because the chapter I'm going to read, it's again small. When it is big, I'll request you.
Okay, Nanaji, okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
It is on YouTube now. Once it is time, Nana, you can start.
Okay, thank you.
Jai Gurudev Brahmaraji.
Bella, I wouldn't be able to share screen today because of
I have already
internet.
shared, my dear. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
for the Manana session.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in case anybody else can, let them share. Huh? I won't be able
Yeah,
to
no,
share.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Jai Gurudev.
ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः गुणत्रयविभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच परं भूय प्रवक्ष्यामि ज्ञानानां ज्ञानमुत्तमं यज्ञात्वा मुनयः सर्वे परां सिद्धिमितो गताः इदं ज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य मम साधर्म्यमागताः सर्गेऽपि नोपजायन्ते प्रलये न व्यधन्ति च मम योनिर्महद् ब्रह्म तस्मिन् गर्भं ददाम्यहम् सम्भवः सर्वभूतानां ततो भवति भारत सर्वयोनिषु कौन्तेय मूर्तयः सम्भवन्ति याः तासां ब्रह्म महद्योनिः अहं बीजप्रदः सत्वं रजस्तम इति गुणाः प्रकृतिसम्भवाः निबध्नन्ति महाबाहो देहे देहिनमव्ययम् तत्र सत्वं निर्मलत्वात् प्रकाशकमनामयम् सुखसङ्गेन बध्नाति ज्ञानसङ्गेन चानघा रजो रागात्मकं विद्धि तृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवम् तन्निबध्नाति कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम् तमस्त्वज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिः तन्निबध्नाति भारत सत्वं सुखे संजयति रजः कर्मणि भारत ज्ञानमावृत्य तु तमः प्रमादे संजयत्युत रजस्तमश्चाभिभूयः सत्वं भवति भारत रजसत्वं तमश्चैव तमसत्वं रजस्तथा सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्वमिच्युत लोभ प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभा अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्तमविदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनमस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तमसः फलं सत्त्वात् संजायते ज्ञानं रजसो लोभ एव च प्रमादमोहौ तमसः भवतो ज्ञानमेव च ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्ताः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति गुणानेतानतिचित्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो अमृतमश्नुते अर्जुन उवाच कैर्लिङ्गैत्रीन् गुणानेतान् अतीतो भवति प्रभो किमाचारः कथं चैतान् त्रीन् गुणानतिवर्तते श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रकाशं च प्रवृत्तिं च मोहमेव च पाण्डव न द्वेष्टि सम्प्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि काङ्क्षते उदासीनवदासीनः गुणैर्यो न विचाल्यते गुणा वर्तन्त इत्येव योऽवतिष्ठति नेङ्गते समदुःखसुखस्वस्थः समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः तुल्यप्रिया प्रियो धीरः तुल्यनिन्दात्मसंस्तुतिः मानापमानयो तुल्यः तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयोः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी गुणातीतः स उच्यते मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीचैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठाहम् अमृतस्याव्ययस्य च शाश्वतस्य च धर्मस्य सुखश्चैकान्तिकस्य च ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमन्महाभारते शतसाहस्रिकायां संहितायां वैयासिक्यां श्रीमद्भीष्मपर्वणि श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे गुणत्रयविभागयोगो नाम चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः पुरुषोत्तमयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधशाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्। अध षोडशोऽध्यायः दैवासुरसम्पद्विभागयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्वलोलुप्त्वं मार्दवं ह्रीरचापलम् तेजक्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पादसम्पदमासुरीम् दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता मा शुच सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जना न विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते असत्यमप्रतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम् एतां दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानो अल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो अहिताः काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहाद् गृहीत्वा असद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते अशुचिव्रताः चिन्तामपरिमेयां च प्रलयान्तामुपाश्रिताः कामोपभोगपरमाः एतावदिति निश्चिताः आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्धसञ्चयान् इदमद्य मया लब्धम् इमं प्राप्स्ये मनोरथम् इदमस्तीदमपि मे भविष्यति पुनर्धनम् असौ मया हतः शत्रुः हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोऽहम् अहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी आढ्योऽभिजनवान् अस्मि कोऽन्योऽस्ति सदृशो मया यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्य इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ताः मोहजालसमावृताः प्रसक्ता कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरके अशुचौ आत्मसम्भाविता स्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेन विधिपूर्वकम् अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं च संश्रिताः मामात्मपरदेहेषु प्रद्विषन्तोऽभ्यसूयकाः तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि माम् अप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम् त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः काम क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत् एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः tato yati param gatim yashastra vidimrutsrujya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhimavapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Can you please go to the 18th and 19th verses?
Yeah, just 2 minutes, Nanaji.
So 18th verse says, Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishanto abhyasuyakaha tanaham dvishata kruran samsareshu naradhaman kshipami ajasrama shubhan asurishveva yonishu. These people, they are immersed in what? Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam. No, 18th. Yeah, that's it. Ahamkaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samsritaha mamatma paradeheshu pradvishanto abhyasuyakaha. Asuyakaha, always finding fault with others when there is merit in others. That is it. Asuyakaha, pradvishantaha, they always hate, immensely hate. Me. Atma paradeheshu, I am resident in them, and I am also resident in all the other bhutas. Me, who is resident in their deha, as also in all the dehas of all the bhutas, pradvishantaha abhyasuyakaha, always finding fault with others. Why do they find fault with others? When they are not adequate within themselves, when their self-esteem is very, very poor, they would not accept the greatness of somebody else. And in that somebody else who is certainly a noble person compared to them, they will find as though some faults and keep on talking about those faults only, submerging all the great qualities of that person. Ahamka, why, what is the reason for all this? Ahamkaram, ahamkarta, ahankaraha, that is the prime mover. Ahamkaram, balam, darpam, they have a lot of strength. And what strength? This is driven by kamam, darpam, this is false pride. Kamam, krodham cha samshritaha, they are immersed in all these very, very vile qualities. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham cha samshritaha. What do? Mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. And they must have some retribution. Like yesterday, I was saying, see, any karma that you do, good or bad, there is going to be some phala of that. Because you have the kartrutva bhavana, you are an ajnani. You are an ajnani. As long as you're an ajnani, you have the kartrutva bhavana, bhoktrutva bhavana. When you have these two bhavanas, the karma phala will certainly attach to you. And when it attaches to you, you will have to enjoy or suffer that. If not in this janma, later on. If not today, tomorrow, like that. And what I was saying is, avashyam anubhoktavyam krutam karma shubha ashubham. Krutam karma, whatever you have done, whether that is shubham or ashubham, whether it is a punya karyam or papa karyam, that karma phala avashyam anubhoktavyam, without any forgetfulness. Bhagavan has initiated the system, the laws of Bhagavan will chronicle what you have done, that karma phala, whether it's shubham or ashubham, and you will have to enjoy or suffer that. If not now, later. And these people who are very cruel in nature and they have the disposition of being asura tendencies, they always create trouble for others, they must have some retribution. They are all papa karminaha. There's nothing punyam that they do. So what is required to be done by Bhagavan for them? Bhagavan will not do anything, but the prakritehe kriyamanani, their prakriti, their samskara, the karma phalas, the bundle of the karma phala accumulated by them, that will be telling, and they will have to pay for that later. And how they will pay for that? 19th verse, please. Yeah.
Is it okay to ask you one question?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. The previous verse that we, during Manana class, that we were talking about ahankara, and there was some question about self-respect, self-esteem, is related to...
Can you please, madam,
Yeah,
can you please
sure.
reduce your speed of talking?
Okay, good. Okay, in the Manana class, we had a question about the ahankara, and also the self-esteem, self-respect in relationship to ego. And then there was a question whether that self-respect is anything to do with the self, So we thought it's not related to self, like the Atma, but I was thinking it's more like with the mind. And so can you kind of give us
Can you repeat? It is not related to what?
Related to the Atma, like self. We call self also self, Atma also
okay.
self, right? So the self-respect and self-esteem is a little bit different from that self. That's what
exactly.
Yeah, we talked about. But then wanted to hear from you, Nanaji.
Yeah, no problem. The self-respect we are talking of, the self-esteem we are talking of, it is limited to these Sthula Sukshma Shariras only. The Sukshma Sharira has the Antakarana, and Antakarana has the mind, the Buddhi, the Chittam, the Hankaram. And these things, they would deem that you are great. And if you are not really great, you would deem that others should recognize that you are great, though you are not. That is kind of a demanding self-respect. Okay? That self is not Atma there. The self is limited to these bodies. Okay? And Atma is not the bodies. We are going to cover shortly the Tattva Bodha and Atma Bodha once again as a kind of a revision. And it will tell you, Atma kaha. Atma is what? Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha. Panchakosha Atitaha. Avastatraya Sakshi. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupaha. Sahaya Tishtati Sa Atma. That is Atma. That self there is not Atma. Did I answer you?
Yes. So the ego is part of the mind, or by itself?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is part of the Antakarana.
Antakarana. Okay.
It is part of the mind.
Okay.
Nanaji?
Ahankara, Chitta, Ninaham. The other day, the Nidhi Jasana slokas I read, no? Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, Ninaham. I am not the mind, I am not the Buddhi, I am not the Chittam, I am not the Ahankara. Okay? These are all the Antakarana. The four of them.
Four of them, right?
Yeah, four of them.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And some people have a tendency, because Buddhi is what? Buddhi.
Discriminating. It discriminates, Viveka and discrimination.
Correct. And what is the Samashti Buddhi? The integrated whole of all the Buddhis together is Brahmaji. Hiranyagarbha. Okay? That Hiranyagarbha, some people would tend to equate to our Mano Buddhi Chitta Antakarnas, the Antakarnas, and equate Brahmaji to this Antakarna, saying Brahmaji has, this is only in some kind of a joke, like Brahmaji has 4 heads, and those 4 heads are Manas, Buddhi, Chittam, Ahankara. That is, the Jivi Santakarana is Brahmaji. That's a kind of a joke. Okay?
Okay.
Now,
Hariom
can we go
Nanaji.
forward?
Nanaji,
Yeah.
Brahmaraji has written one question. Can I ask you? Just now she has mentioned.
Please,
Yeah.
Thank you.
please ask.
She has written, where do we all fit in the spectrum? One end is sattva and the other end tamas and rajas.
Can you read that again?
Yeah. Where do we all fit in the spectrum where one end is sattva and the other end tamas and rajas?
This is a question which I can't answer. Where all do we fit? How do I know? How do I know?
This
You are,
question came up, I think, when we were talking about Asura Gunas and
but I can say this much, that we have a preponderance of Sattva-guna compared to the Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Because of that, you are in a position to have patience to listen to the Gita Vakyas. You have Shraddha in the Gita Acharya's Bhagavad Gita, and you have Shraddha in what little I am talking. You are digesting that. All that requires Sattva-guna. Especially in this Ava, you are endowed with Sattva-guna in its totality, to the exclusion of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. In this hour, it is like that. And subsequently, for another hour, you are doing manana and things like that. There also, it is a continuing flow of Sattva Guna. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, rajaso lobhaye vacha, pramada moho tamasaha, bhavato ajnaname vacha. Now, we don't have the raga and tamas generated qualities now in these 2 hours. So for these 2 hours, I can rest assured all of you, okay, belong to the Sattva-guna Pradhana, Purushas and Stris. I can't answer for everybody. It becomes very difficult. How do I know who has got what attitudes? Okay. Yeah, can I go forward now?
Yes, Nanaji.
Okay.
Verse 19.
So verse 19. So for those people, the evil doers, evil thinkers, evil planners, people who talk ill of others for no fault of others, they what is the lot for them? Tanaham dashatakruran samsareshu naradhaman. Naradhaman. Nara is what? Nara is man. Man is woman. Okay? Man. Manava, Nara means Manava. That Manava, Adhaman, he is the lowliest of Manavas. Those are lowliest of people. Nara, Nara, you know what? The Vyutpatti Adham for Nara? Nariyate iti Naraha. Nariyate. Imperishable. Nara means imperishable. Nara means it is the Atma that is being talked of in the derivative meaning that is given. Naraha means nariyate. Naraha. Tasya sammohaha naram. The entire group of all those naraha is called naram. Narasya ayanam narayanam. The group of people's ayanam, what they have to reach, the prasthanam they have to reach is that narayanam. That kind of a nara, after having taken the human birth, he must behave much better than an animal. He is behaving worse than an animal. Naradhamaha, Tan, those people, Aham, I, and those people are what? Dvishataha, always hating. Kruran, always being cruel in their activities and their thoughts. Cruel. Dvishataha, samsareshu naradhaman. Those people from samsareshu, kshipami. Kshipami means I'll simply throw them away. I will simply throw them away. Kshipami, ajasram. Ajasram, always. Okay? Always. For that is for a repeated number of janmas. That is the meaning. Ajasram. Okay? In the Janana Marana Prabaha, Kshipami. Where? Where do you place them? Kshipami. Ajasram. Ashubhan. Ashubhan. Asurishveva yonishu. Amangalam. Ashubhan means Amangalam. Inauspicious. Ashubhan. Asurishveva yonishu. In Asura yonis. In the Asura wombs, I will throw them forever and forever, that kind of a thing. Why? Because they have to learn, they have to suffer. And when they suffer, they will perhaps realize what they have done is wrong. And they will have the thought of becoming good. And that will be the beginning for them to end that Asura Yoni, that kind of a Janma. Those men who are hateful and cruel, who are the lowest of men, who are wrongdoers, I dispatch repeatedly into a life of transmigration only in Asuri wombs. They will have to learn the hard way because they have created a lot of trouble and strife, and they have created a lot of turmoil in the Jagat. And from the Jagat, they have profited immensely, and they have trounced every opposition on the way for their success. And their success is adharmic. So I'll have to take care of them, and I will take care of them. Kshipami, ajasram, ashubhan lokan, ashubhan asurishveva yonish. Asuri yoni ma pannaha, mudha janmani janmani, mam aprapyeva kaunteya, tato yanja dhamam gatim. Yeah. Hey Kaunteya Arjuna, Asurim Yonim, having obtained the Asura womb, Apannaha, having obtained that, Janmani, in every birth. Okay, one birth is over, they have ended their life, their next birth also will be an Asura Janma. Mudhaha, people who are devoid of any discrimination, devoid of any proper thinking. What is required to be done? What should be avoided? They will never entertain those kind of debates in their mind. Mam aprapya eva. Mam aprapya means certainly not reaching me. Certainly not reaching me means what it means is these kind of people certainly cannot reach Bhagavan. See, bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapajyate. Jnanavan, the one who is endowed with a lot of jnanam. And what is that jnanam? That is in the 13th chapter. Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadato anyadha. All this is jnanam, that is jnana sadhanam. For jnana samupadhyana, this is the sadhanam. What is that sadhanam? Amanitvadi gunas, amanitvam, adhambitvam, all those things narrated by Bhagavan. Towards the end, he says what? Etat jnanamiti proktam. All this is said to be jnanam. Ajnanam yadato anyatha. Whatever other scholarship you have got, all that is ajnanam. Ajnanam yadato anyatha. You may be a pandit elsewhere in some other sphere of activity, in some other subject, but that is all ajnanam. Any empirical knowledge is ajnanam. Any knowledge which is other than knowledge related to Atma Vidya is ajnanam. That is jnanam. So, mam aprapyeva means not gaining the rudimentary jnanam required to reach me. That is the meaning. They certainly cannot reach Bhagavan. Mam aprapyeva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. They go deeper into baser and baser janmas. From Asura Janma, which may be a Manava Janma, they take to the Janma of an animal. It may be initially a domesticated animal. And if then also they do not learn, they will become the cruel animals like the tigers and lions. And they will be hunted by man, and those will have to have their residence in the deep jungles only. So all those people, mam aprapyeva kaunteya tato yancha dhamam gatim, even lower births they will have to take. Okay? Asurim yonima pannaha mudha janmani mam aprapyeva kaunteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. Now, what kind of adhamam gati they will attain to? Trividham narakaschedam dwaram nashanam kama krodaha tata lobaha tasmade tatrayam chajet. Trividham narakasya idam dwaram. There are 3 doors for this kind of narakam. Narakam need not be the hell we are used to thinking about. This naraka means a painful experience while living here itself. Trividham narakasyedam, a painful experience. Kamaha, you have got desire, and the desire is not fulfilled. So you have a pain in that. And because of the unfulfillment of the desire, you will get angry, krodaha. And krodaha, you will become red, and you will lose your control. Krodat bhavati sammohaha. Sammohat smriti vibramaha. Smriti bramshat buddhinashaha. Buddhinashat pranashyate. Gita Acharya said in the 2nd chapter. That kind of a thing. That kind of a thing is a painful experience. And all these will be the drive for lobha also. Lobha is miserliness. Lobha, miserliness. This kama, krodha, lobha, these are the three entrances for this naraka. Trividham narakasyedam. This narakasya, for this naraka, threefold, trividham narakasya, for this painful experience, idam dwaram, this doorway, atmanaha nashanam, which is the destroyer of oneself. Destroyer of oneself. Here earlier, one lady asked in the Manana class that self-esteem, self-pride, okay, self-respect, how is it different from Atma? Here again, the self is talked of. Destroyer of oneself. It is not destroyer of Atma. Atma is anashinaha. Veda avinashanam vidhi. Ya enamajam avyayam. Katham sa purusha pardha. Kam ghatayati hantikam. That which is avikaryam, that which is anantam, that which does not have any rupam, okay, and that which is everywhere. How can anybody endure even remotely that? So this destroyer of oneself does not mean destroyer of Atma. Destroyer of oneself who ought to be looking for redemption in rediscovery of his self Atma. That is the meaning. Destroyer of oneself, kamaha, desire, krodaha, anger, tadha, lobaha, so too the greed. Tasma, therefore, etat trayam chajet. Therefore, these 3 should be avoided, should be given up. Etatrayam chajet. This doorway to Naraka, which destroys a person, is threefold: desire, anger, and also greed. Therefore, one should give up this triad, these 3. Okay? This Naraka, incidentally, need not be the Naraka, a place where you will have to pay for what all you have done. It may be here while living here. Ihaiva, while living here itself. You have a lot of wealth acquired by foul means, and you have a lot of hunger, but whatever you want to touch and eat, that does not go well with your anatomy. Is it not painful? You like a lot of sweets and you are diabetic. Is it not painful? You would like to eat some hot food, but your tongue does not accept anything hot. What your mind wants, your sense organ does not help. Is it not painful? These kind of pains, while living here itself, that is naraka. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha kama krodhastadha lobaha tasmadetatrayam chayet. Then that's okay. Go to 22, please. Thank you. Etair vimukta kaunteya tamo dwarair tribhirnaraha acharachatmana shreyaha tato yati param gatim. Hey Kaunteya, how many times Bhagavan mentioned Arjuna as Kaunteya in this chapter? Hey Kaunteya, etaihi, maybe he is out of the respect for his paternal aunt, Kunti. Kunti is his paternal aunt. Okay, direct paternal aunt. And that aunt's son is Arjuna. Out of this endearment, perhaps, he thought of Kunti Devi, and that's how he has uttered Kaunteya. Etaihi tribihi, of these three, tamodwaraihi, gates of darkness. That Naraka is compared to darkness now. Why Naraka is compared to darkness? There is no light to the mind for thinking properly. So these gates, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, they are leading you to the dark cavern, gates of darkness. Vimuktaha naraha, the man who has been liberated from these three, Atmanaha Shreyam, for the sake of one's own good, Shreyaha. Shreyaha, Preyaha. There are two things we have seen. Shreyas is Mokshadayakam. Preyas is Abhyunnati. That is the worldly lift, worldly comforts, all those things. Good wealth, good status, and good position. Balam, ahamkaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, cha samshritaha. All those things we have seen. That is prayers. Atmanaha shreyaha, what is good for oneself. Acharati, follows. Tataha, because of that. Param gatim apnoti. Yati means apnoti. They will attain to param gatim. What is that param gati? Moksha eva. A man who is free from these three gates to darkness. What are the three gates to darkness? Trividham narakasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanaha kamaha krodaha tadha lobaha. These three, if somebody, a man, discriminative man, out of his purushadha, he is wedded to Atmajnanam. If he is liberated from these three, follows what is good for himself, because of that, he reaches the higher end. Higher end is moksham. Okay? Next verse, please. And for him to go to the higher end, what he has to do? He must know what is to be done, what is to be avoided, what is good for him, and what is detrimental to him. All these things he must know. And how will he know? Not what occurs to him is good. What does not occur to him occurs to him is bad. No, it's not that. You have all these things mentioned in the Veda, through the Veda Vakyas. Veda Vakyas have said, do this. You avoid doing this. This is kartavyam. This is required to be done. This is bhoktavyam. This you can enjoy. This akartavyam you shall not do. This is a nishiddha karma. Don't do that. Don't eat this. Don't indulge in these kind of things. Those are the Veda Vakyas. That is out of concern for you with the thought of you were having the moksha purushartha in mind only. The Veda Vakyas have ordained the do's and don'ts for you. Those are the pramana for you. Pramana is what? Prama karoti iti pramanaha. That which bestows knowledge on you is pramanam. That pramanam is a Veda Vakya. Yaha shastra vidhimrutrujya vartate kamakarataha nasa siddhim amapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Yaha huyava shastra vidhim utrujya. Okay, downplaying the shastra vidhi. Shastra vidhi is what? There are vidhi vakyas, do's and don'ts, all that forgetting about it. Vartate, conducts himself, kamakarataha, because of his pursuit in catering to the desire. Kamakarataha, na sa siddna, na means no. Saha, yaha, huyava, saha, that person, siddhim avapnoti. Siddhim means moksham. Avapnoti means attains. Na siddhim avapnoti. Na sukham. He will not be happy. Na param gatim. Nothing. He can't go forward at all. Yaha, the one who shastra vidhim, the injunctions of the shastra, utrujya, casting away. Kamakarataha, being impelled by binding desires. Vartate, engages himself, conducts himself. Saha, he, siddhim, the accomplishment of maturity. Na apnoti, that is the knowledge here. The siddhim means knowledge here. The knowledge required to elevate you as the rediscoverer of Atma. Na apnoti, does not gain. Na sukham, no happiness. Na param gatim, not a higher end. Higher end is moksham. The one who, being impelled by binding desires, engages himself casting away the injunctions of Shastra, gains neither maturity nor happiness nor a higher end. Na sukham na param gatim. Then, culminating in the final verse of this chapter, Bhagavan says, so what is uppermost, what should be uppermost in your mind for your conduct? Tasma, therefore, shastram pramanante karya akarya vyavastito jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumiharhasi. Tasmat, therefore, shastram pramanante, therefore, shastram is your pramanam, that is your gospel. That is the pramakaranam iti pramanam. This is the one which will bestow knowledge on you. Therefore, shastram must be understood to be the most supreme for conducting your way of life. Tasma shastram pramanante karya akarya vyavastito. Therefore, karya akarya vyavastito, in the determination of what is required to be done and what is to be avoided. Te, for you, Arjuna, shastram is the Veda is pramanam, shastra vidhanam uktam, and what is said by the shastra, accordingly you must conduct yourself. Karma, action, iha, in this world, jnatva, knowing that the shastra vidhi, knowing that karma kartum iharhasi, you are required to do karma or avoid doing karma. The nishiddha karma you should avoid. Don't hurt others. Ahimso paramo dharmaha, that you must always at all times practice. Therefore, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you, Arjuna, in the determination of what is to be done and not to be done. Knowing what is said by the mandates of the Shastra, you are obliged to perform action here in this world. And this will be beneficial to you. This will be hitam for you. Tava hitam, mokshadayakam, shreyodayakam, iti Bhagavan uvacha. Okay? Om Tat Sat iti Sriman Mahabharate Shatasahasrikayam Samhitayam Vaiyasikyam Srimad Bhishma Parvani Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha अध सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रय विभाग योगः अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः. Yeah, we will take it up tomorrow. Now can we get on to the Gita Mahatmyam, please?
Yes, Nanaji, just give me 2 minutes, please.
Okay. Anybody wanting to chant Gita Mahatmyam? Welcome.
Yeah, anyone would like to chant or I will chant? Savita ji or anyone would like to chant, please? Sheila ji.
I will chant.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay.
Good.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dharo Vacha Bhagwan Parameshan Bhaktir Vyabhicharini. I'm not getting the lyrics, I think. Bhagwan Parameshan Bhakti Ravyabhicharini Prarabdham Bhujaya Manasya Katham Bhavati He Prabho.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Yeah.
The way to chant that is Dharo Vacha Bhagavan Parameshana Bhaktihi Avyabhicharini Prarabdham Bhujyamanasya Katham Bhavati He Prabho.
Okay.
Okay.
Shri Vishnu Uvacha Prarabdham Bhujayamano hi Gita Bhyasarata Sada Samukta Sasukhi Loke Karmana Nopalipyate Mahapapadi Papani Gita Dhyanam Karoti Chet Kavachit Sparshan Kurvanti Nalani Dalamumbavat गीताया पुस्तकं यत्र पाठ प्रवर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि तत्र वै सर्वे देवाश्च श्रेयो योगिनः पन्नगाश्च ये गोपाल बालकृष्णोऽपि नारदा ध्रुव पार्षदैः सहायो जायते शीघ्रम् यत्र गीता प्रवर्तते यत्र गीता विचारश्च पठनं पाठनं श्रुतं तत्राहं निशितं पृथ्वी निवासामि सदैवहि गीता श्रेयहं तिष्ठामि गीता मे चोत्तमं गृहम् गीता ज्ञानमुपाश्रित्य त्रिलोकान् पालयाम्यहम्
Srilokan Palayamyaham.
त्रिलोकान्
Palayamyaham.
पालयाम्यहम्. Okay.
Okay.
गीता मे परमा विद्या ब्रह्म रूपा न संशयः अधर्म मात्रा शरा नित्या
No.
Ardhamatra.
Hari Om. Not Adharmam.
अधर्म
Ardham.
Adham. Okay, in the printout there's a matra on the.
That we just did.
You please read what is there.
Actually,
Yeah, I will
Nanaji was
carry on.
the.
Sunita ji, I will carry on.
Okay.
Ardhamatra ksharanitya swanirvachya padatmika. Ardha.
Geet Hari Om. I will carry on, Nanaji.
Hello?
गीता में परमा विद्या ब्रह्म रूपा न संशयः अर्धमात्राक्षरा नित्या स्वनिर्वाच्य पदात्मिका चिदानन्देन कृष्णेन प्रोक्ता स्वमुखतोऽर्जुनं वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वार्थज्ञानसंयुता
Very good.
योऽष्टादश जपो नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः ज्ञानसिद्धिं स लभते ततो याति परं पदम् पाठे असमर्थसम्पूर्णे ततो अर्धं पाठमाचरेत् तदा गोदानजं पुण्यं लभते नात्र संशयः.
Balaji, you please mute everybody else except this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, please continue.
त्रिभागं पठमानस्तु गङ्गास्नानं फलं लभेत षडशं जपमानस्तु सोमयागफलं लभेत एकाध्यायं तु यो नित्यं पठते भक्तिसंयुतः रुद्रलोकमवाप्नोति गणो भूत्वा वसेच्चिरम् अध्याये श्लोकपादं वा नित्यं यः पठते नरः स याति नरतां यावन् मन्वन्तरं वसुन्धरे. गीताया श्लोकदशकं सप्तपञ्चचतुष्टयं द्वौ त्रिनेकं तदर्धं वा श्लोकानां यः पठेन्नरः चन्द्रलोकमवाप्नोति वर्षाणामयुतं ध्रुवम्.
Please
Am I
continue.
audible?
Please continue.
Yeah, okay. गीता पाठसमायुक्तो मृतो मानुषतां व्रजेत गीताभ्यासं पुनः कृत्वा लभते मुक्तिमुत्तमां गीतेत्युच्चारसंयुक्तो म्रियमाणो गतिं लभेत गीतार्थश्रवणासक्तो महापापयुतोऽपि वा वैकुण्ठं समवाप्नोति विष्णुना सह मोदते गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम् गीतामाश्रित्य बहवो भूभुजो जनकादयः निर्धूतकल्मषालोके गीतायाता परं पदम् गीतायाः पठनं कृत्वा माहात्म्यं नैव यः पठेत वृथा पाठो भवेत्तस्य श्रम एवायुदाहृतः एतन्माहात्म्यसंयुक्तं गीताभ्यासं करोति यः स तत्फलमवाप्नोति दुर्लभां गतिमाप्नुयात्. सुत उवाच महात्म्यमेतद् गीताया मया प्रोक्तं सनातनं गीतान्ते च पठेद् यस्तु यदुक्तं तत्फलं लभेत. इति श्री वाराहपुराणे श्रीमद्गीता महात्म्यं सम्पूर्णम्.
Thank you. Very well chanted. Good. We have 2 minutes. Any doubts we can attend to now?
Nanaji, I have one question.
Mhm.
The Asura qualities, are there more Asura qualities like the hesitation or not taking the initiative of anything? Is this also Asura quality?
Hesitation need not be Asura quality. Hesitation, supposing you were about to say something which is unpleasant and you hesitate, that's a very good quality. Anything unpleasant you would like to mention, you hesitate and you kind of withdraw. It's not an Asuric quality. Anything discriminative is certainly driven by Sattva Guna, whereas Asura qualities are driven by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Rajoguna has an attribute. Tamoguna has another attribute. Okay? Like on the rope, you see the snake. Two things have happened. One is the real nature of that object is covered. Secondly, then there is a superimposition of what you have known earlier on that object which is there. There is avarana and vikshepa. This avarana and vikshepa. Avarana is done by tamoguna and vikshepa is done by rajoguna. Okay. When you see a person, a noble person, the avarana will take care of. The nobility of that person is kind of submerged because of avarana, and you keep on superimposing the qualities which are not there in that nobility, in that noble person, and those things. That is how asuya is generated. This is driven by rajoguna, avarana by tamoguna. They are certainly not. That hesitation is certainly not asura guna.
Thank you, Nanaji.
Okay. Hari Om. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody.
Dhanyavad, Hari Om,
Thank you
Nanaji.
so much.
Thank you, Nanaji.
Yeah, thank you.
Are we continuing Manana? In which case, I'll start the recording again.
Yeah, we are continuing, but someone will have to read. I will just share the screen. Maraji, Sheila ji, Savita ji, Madhuri ji, Lichi ji, whoever is present, kindly initiate the Manana session, please.
Yeah.
Verse 19 we start with, 18 we will do the prayer first and then please start Manana. Verse 18 or 19th, I think 19th, right?
18, we started from 18.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, don't come in.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Yeah.
So today
Sakar
again
Pongalukku அந்த இதுல
very nicely Nanaji described all the characteristics, tendencies of Asuri Pravritti. Asuri tendencies. So kindly, first we will read the shloka and then we will discuss. So whoever is willing, kindly chant.
Are we, Jai Gurudev, are we reading all the shlokas in at a time?
Yeah, whichever way everyone is comfortable, Shilaji.
Okay. I will start. Let's see how it flows. Okay? Jai Gurudev.
Correct.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samsritaha mamatma paradeheshu prati pradvishantobhyasuyakaha. Ahankaram, egoism. Balam, strength. Darpam, insolence. Kamam, enjoyment. Krodham, and anger. Krodham cha, and anger. Samsritaha, those who are completely given to. Atma paradeheshu, in their own and others' bodies. Mama pradvishanta, those who despise me. Abhyasuyakaha, those who are great cavillers. Dr. Mara, are you reading the Tatparya?
Yeah, I can read it. Yeah. Those who are completely given to egoism, brute strength, insolence, enjoyment, and anger, who despise me in their own and others' bodies, who are great cavillers. So anybody want to comment on this, or you can go to the next one?
Can someone just specify more abhyasuyakaha?
Which one? Suyakaha? Which one you're talking about?
Yeah, abhyasuyakaha, the last, those who are great cavillers.
Oh,
Nanaji said they do not appreciate others' work. Is it that the meaning?
yeah, I mean, they don't work. Basically, that's what he said, right? Like, they don't have respect for themselves or other people. I mean, sorry. I mean, for the Atma part of it.
They are the
Abhyasuga.
malicious people. They have malice in them. Abhesuyakaha. They have malice. They don't appreciate others, and they are.
Yeah, they're like with that bad intention, or like.
Yeah, someone who is, I just checked the meaning, someone who is always discontent, has petty objections, always finding fault. That kind of a person is a caviller.
Finding fault is it the Paishunam is what then?
Yeah, that's what Nana said, also finding fault with other people or something like that.
But that was described earlier also, na? The Paishunam, in one shloka earlier, the which shloka was it?
You want me to go to previous shloka to check? Was it in the same chapter?
It was in the same chapter, na? Where there was the word Paishunam.
I think okay, Daivika call just a minute. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Paishunam was in that it was described the word Paishunam, which Nanaji described as seeing bad quality only in others, not seeing their merits, finding faults in them. This is again being repeated in this shloka also. But initially it was called Paishunam, but now in this
This Abhyasiyaka is the like a demon, demoniac, like a demon asuric qualities. That's basically what great cavaliers are.
I don't remember which.
Here it is. Apaishunam. Absence of apaishunam.
Shloka number.
Shloka number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, can you see?
No, the
Apaishunam.
Paishunam, maybe that's
Shantira Paishunam. Okay. Yeah.
But Paishunam, he said, talking ill of others or complaining about that. That was the Paishunam.
Yeah, and Arjuna is called Anasuya, who never finds fault in others. Right? The opposite.
Yeah, but this Paishunam is talk ill of others.
And in this shloka, which Bhuyasuyakaha, it means the same. All nearby.
Suyakaha is basically, that asuric qualities are demonic. They're not like, normal with sattvic quality. They are basically the great cavaliers is, like demonic, or I don't know what cavaliers means. That's what.
Abhaysuyakaha.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall I go to the next verse? I mean, the next 19th?
Yes.
Anyone would like to share? We would love to hear from Percy ji and others also, because you people have such a profound experience.
For me, cavaliers would mean, it comes from the word cavalry, which is a group of soldiers. But in this way, here it is for those who are doing something wrong. Cavaliers, the word. Even a group of naughty boys who don't listen to their mothers, parents, and they are doing something wrong in the street outside. That would also be a cavalry attitude that they have, doing something wrong. So this would be for grown-up people who are doing some indulging in having wrong attitudes, indulging in slandering people, talking ill about others. That would be a group of people who do some having wrong attitude.
Yeah. Is it like the fault finding, that kind of?
Fault finding with others.
Fault finding with others, or
See,
yeah.
Praising is a divine quality, and we do the praising process. We praise yourself, praise your partner, and criticism is a demonic quality, is what Guruji says. Comparing and criticizing. Don't compare two masters, your teacher with Guruji, like that. So those are all demonic. So slandering means talking ill of others or comparing them with somebody of a higher stature. Like we can't be of the stature of Nanaji. Like his knowledge is immense. The way he chants is very good. We have not reached to that level. We still stumble. But we don't talk ill of each other or say, or compare or criticize each other. That is what it means.
Okay, that's so wonderful.
Demonic. We should not indulge in it. That is why we don't compare children also. We don't criticize them. Then they become, because you are their idols. So whatever you say, they take it to be the true. If you call a child a donkey, he'll become a donkey. We have a donkey's brain, we keep on saying. Then if he is a little dull in studies, we should not do that. Criticizing a child, he looks upon to you that you are his idol. That is why slandering is bad. Talking ill, thinking ill of others is not a good, it's an asuri gun. Jai Guru.
That's so wonderful. So even thinking, our thought process also has influence. So even our thoughts we have to watch. That is also.
That Guruji has said very clearly, those people who do sadhana regularly, their sankalp becomes very strong and it manifests. So even if your child comes home late from school and you get an idea that he might have met with an accident, that becomes tathastu. So don't even have that kind of thought process in your mind, Guruji says, when you're doing sadhana regularly.
Yeah, very true. So there should be no place for negative thoughts by default also.
That is very essential. For those who do sadhana regularly, they should not entertain negative thoughts. Guruji says there is devis in the environment and they say tathastu immediately. That is why all this bowing down technique, Disha Pranam, which we call, we surrender all our negative qualities. And here in this, today what we did, anger, desire, all this asuri gun, they talked about giving up these three.
Yeah, Persiji, yesterday, day before yesterday, during our Manana session, we had a very wonderful question. I mean, the doubt what Dr. Mara today asked Nanaji also. Like when you are having a low self-esteem or when you do not have much ego about yourself, then is it, what kind of quality is it? That was the question. Am I right, Dr. Savita? If you are more you are not that egoistic or you are not boasting type and you are just trying to accept everybody's words and you are trying to accommodate for that shanti what we call as per Nanaji. So is it a negative quality or is it a divine quality according to me? But low self esteem has to be watched out, isn't it? If you
There
you
is
cannot surrender so much that the other person take you for
I think
granted.
the mistake in talking about it as low self-esteem. When you're talking about low self-esteem, you are actually meaning ego. And ego could be of a superior, you feel superior to others, or you feel inferior to others. Do you understand that? Self-esteem by itself means having self-respect for your own self. Atmiyata जिसे कहते हैं. That is very much different from ahankar, like Nanaji explained today, where it falls. And self-respect means, I can give you a very small example. If a mother-in-law is criticizing her daughter-in-law in front of all the other people, the daughter-in-law knows that mother-in-law always says that do this, do that. She's just sitting and doing nothing and she orders around. So if you have self-respect, even if she's criticizing you in front of others, your thought process will not be disturbed because you have self-respect. If you have ego of the inferiority type, then you will get disturbed. This is the difference between self-respect and ego. The difference between atmiyata and ahankar. So ahankari na bane, atmiyata rakhe. When you have
Okay.
self-respect, you will never be disturbed. And self-respect, if you say I have self-esteem is low, no, it cannot be. Self-respect is self-respect.
Yeah, you know you are unlimited. You know your capacity.
Good esteem, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's very nice. Wonderful. Are we all
I'm,
getting what Percy ji has said?
I'm sorry, I was not there day before yesterday. I was taking an advanced course in Nagar. So
Pretty much. Yeah.
Very clear, Percy. Thank you so much. It was
Yeah,
like
Savitarji brought up
very.
that question, so that's why we asked specifically that self-esteem issue. So the self-esteem is like, is anybody like, say for somebody is beautiful, somebody feeling that they are not beautiful and they try to make up for it, putting a lot of makeup, dressing this, that, but even do all those things, they probably look what they are, right? I mean, they're not going to be any different. But then somebody who don't have that kind of, even though they are not very pretty, but they not have that kind of low self-esteem themselves. They don't have to dress up all that much. They should be by themselves. So that's pretty much in terms of the self-esteem.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was taking an advanced course in Nagar, so I could not attend the Manana classes, though I had opportunity to listen to Nanaji most of the time.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I thought you guys are all in that this Navaratri group.
No, fortunately, to go and take
festival.
advanced courses, Navaratri special advanced courses. So we are busy with the work.
Yeah, that's nice, Percy. And even Balaji brought up one of your example of eating with some people with other habits or like something. What did he say, Balaji? That he was non-vegetarian and vegetarian food, or the alcohol or something like that. So that was nice. So we are all remembering all of our group people. That was nice. Anyway, you want to go ahead?
This is like walking on the sword. Self-esteem and ego, any kind of ego, or just now how Maharaji said, no, that you look the way you are, but then keeping yourself nice and up to date and feeling comfortable, or sometimes jane do, I am like this only, and remaining very lethargic and like that. So this self-esteem and going towards the ego, this borderline is very thin actually. And somebody should appreciate me, that kind of feeling is also there. Many times it is running in the mind, so we really need to be watchful about how Pastiji has said, no, that daughter-in-law is comfortable, though mother-in-law is continuously criticizing, but she knows. So how she is means composed and nicely she is facing all the friends of mother-in-law. That example is really, it's not that very easy. Immediately some dialogue goes on in the minds, no, even at this age for us also. So good practice or good tapasya kind of, we can take it up.
See, basically, the first thing is that the first 5 principles which are taught in the Part 1 course or happiness program or basic course, whatever the name is in today's times, the 5 principles, do not be a football of other people's opinion. All this we have to put into practice, whether we are teachers, volunteers, or simply disciples. We have to put it into our daily practice. Otherwise, if we not, we'll just, like if you're teaching a course, we act like scholars. But like, unless you put this, then there will be weightage in the words that you utter when you're taking a course. And then more and more people will be attracted to you to come to your course, even when you're giving an intro talk. But if there is an absence of following the 5 basic principles, that itself will have no weightage then when you're giving an intro talk or when you're taking the course. We must put all these things which are said in the Shastras, like whatever is said in the Gita, all that is coming in our part 1 course. Guruji has निचोड़ के पूरा ज्ञान दे दिया है 5 सूत्रों में. We now need to put that into our daily life, as practice it, not just utter it in a class. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Parsi ji, you just picked up the thoughts from my mind and you just now spoke. Thank you so much.
Somebody is reading the sloka, verse 19. Hello, is Bella is there? Or?
May I? I will read it.
Oh, Madhuri
Please
is
go
reading? Okay, go ahead, Madhuri. Madhuri ji, go ahead.
तानहं विशतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभानां सुरीष्वेव योनिषु तान् द्विषतः, those who despise Kruran, who are cruel, Ashubhan, who are wrongdoers, Naradhaman, the lowest of the men, and Sansareshu, into a life of transmigration, Asurishu evam Yunishu, only in Asuri wombs, Ajastram, perpetually, Aham Kshipami. That means I dispatch. Maharaji, please go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Those men who are hateful and cruel, who are the lowest of men, who are wrongdoers, I dispatch repeatedly into a life of transmigration only in Asuri wombs. Yeah, we read this yesterday, and today Nanaji again explained it very nicely. And they can even go into Naraka or take in low lives or something, animal lives.
To add here that
Mhm.
as the Gyanis, we need to be now very careful. See, sometimes what we do is because of the level of knowledge we have, we are Gyanis now. So we tend to look down upon people who don't have, who are Agyanis. So either we are cruel towards them or we are hateful towards them. And I've seen this in a lot of families where the one partner has done the course and the other has not done the happiness course. And then they follow the path. And then they look down upon people in their family who have not done the course. I am superior, you are inferior. That kind of quality develops. Like, see how I have risen to such a great height and you are still in the gutters. You are like a worm floating in the gutters. Those kind of attitudes that we may not say it in so many words, but that is the way when the other partner talks with me, that person says, she has become a teacher. But like when we were in Punjab and we migrated to New Zealand, now she becoming a teacher, she has stopped eating non-veg and she has stopped taking alcohol. But we used to, and we had a very good life. Now that Guruji has come in the life, he seems to be the dividing force between the two of us, husband and wife. Like I still eat non-veg, I still take beer on holidays. So we should not ill-treat people. We should not be cruel towards them. Our attitude should not change. Otherwise, we will also land in Asuri wombs. It is very clearly stated here. So what is our attitude with people in and around us, in our own family, is very important. Like the Gita says, we should have compassion for people who are agyanis. We should shower more love upon them. See how we can raise them up rather than look down upon them. This paragraph is very important today. Because ultimately this knowledge is for ourselves. How we can grow, how we can reach our Atma. It is not about where other people are. And why should we look down upon the downtrodden? We should have compassion for them, lift them up. Jai Gurudev.
Yeah, that's
like
so
knowledge can
wonderful.
make you humble also, no? Like if you are in knowledge, it increases the humility part also. You are like not humility, the humbleness. The humbleness part, it increases. You are more gentle in your behavior. Your harshness goes away after being in knowledge. This was also the Devi Gun which was described in the earlier shloka.
Yeah, very true, Savitaji, but it requires a lot of knowledge into wisdom, into practice. You know, then that stage
Yeah,
come.
yeah. Over a
When
period
you
of time, it will
start,
develop.
yeah, then that humility comes, then that humbleness come, and then the compassion automatically, like how Gurudev has, how Dalai Lama has compassion for every being around them. So I think
Yeah,
that
it
this is
time.
very important aspect what Persiji talked about just now. And
Yes.
we have to introspect our own selves again and again, that we do not start judging others, we do not start criticizing others, comparing others, because that is also one of the,
Yeah,
although they are
finding
bad,
faults in
you have no
others.
right to judge
Yeah.
it. You can be a role model for them, so they automatically start following your good qualities.
I think we should make a list of all the Asur Gun and uh, keep on checking in between after some time so that we can, it's like a checklist type, na? That you can, if for your own improvement, that I have this, finding fault in myself first rather than finding fault in others.
Oh, I have a suggestion, like what Nana was saying. The reason I said we'll read to the sloka, maybe we should read the sloka, the verses again, like slowly. Like say, for example, here, Asurim Yoni Ma Panna Muda. This is that's what it says, right? Janmani, Janmani.
Janmani, Janmani.
Yeah, Janmani, Janmani. Mama Prapaiva Kaunteya Tato
Mama prapyaiva kaunteya tato
Kaunteya.
dhamam gatim.
Right. So, you know what, whoever reads will well, read it like only those 3 words or something like that. And person like me, you know, I could read it and try to get those words in our, like in ourselves, so that we don't keep asking the same question. Oh, what we got to list the asura gunas and all these things. And we pretty much read it through, and then we can go back and read like a 3 line, like Asirim Yoni, Asirim Yonim, that's Umafana Asura, Aparnaha. So those who have obtained. So at least that part of it, that you kind of ingrained in your mind. And then Mudaha, that's those who lack discrimination. Janmani, we know that one. So like that, it'd be nice. And then we also remember those words and the verse also a little bit. So from now on, I think when we're reading the sloka, try to focus on the sloka a little bit more, not right away going into Pradipadartha and the Tatparya. Maybe we have to dwell on it then do the Paripadartha and go back and read the sloka one more time. I know I keep saying sloka, but the verse one more time so that we know we got that. And everyone in the class also read along with the person so that we get that. That's what Nanaji was saying yesterday or day before.
This stanza also relates to the story that Nanaji said about Rishi Ani Manvadya, and he is inserted with a steel rod because he did not tell where the robbers were hiding. He was in mourn, he was in silence. And then when he goes to Yamlok, when he drops his body, then he says, why did this happen to me? And he was told that in childhood he had done. So, but for the childhood, what we do, we are not to be punished. So he sends Yamraj back on earth as Vidura, was the story that Nana said. So it is not like the Devis and Devtas are also not sent back. After their prarabdha is over, they have enjoyed over there in heaven or Vaikunt, what we call, then they also have to come back if they have done something wrong. So this going back into the Asuri womb, we have to be very careful the way we behave after becoming Gyanis. That story really magnifies what this stanza. Nanaji gave a very good story.
Yeah, we talked about that that butterfly, how he pinned it with the thorn and
yeah. He was a child. Childhood pranks are not to be punished.
Yeah.
It was done out of innocence. So he sent Samraj back to this world as Vidura. So that is what we read as.
Persiji, there was one more story. Sorry. There
Yeah.
was one more story whereby Rishiji is just witnessing someone stealing something and he didn't want to, or something like that. And then he just is witnessing. He doesn't want to say anything because that is hurtful to the person who is stealing or doing something wrong.
That is
So
how a
how far
language
it is?
that is how a language should be when we are dealing with others. What the eyes see, the tongue cannot speak. What the tongue speaks, the eyes cannot see. Such a nice way he put it. So when we need to even point out if somebody is doing something wrong, how we can clothe it properly so that that person speak the truth but with a lot of sweetness in it. The other person should not get hurt. It should not be the truth.
That was a little different context. I think, that's what Nana is saying, that this Mrinal, I remember we asked the question about if somebody is doing something wrong, like injustice, that you would keep quiet, or if you do something like that. He said there is different dharmas. It depends on the situation. We can't apply the same thing for everything. It's one of the situations that we read in this verse, but then the other type of dharmas, he said to refer to Mahabharata 12, chapter 12, 14, and the Anusasnika Parva, where Yudhishthira asks a lot of questions to Bhishma about all the dharmas, what to be followed in different situations.
That Manvadya had taken the dharma of non-violence, ahimsa, and therefore, and also he was in silence. And he had taken a dharma of ahimsa. Whereas in case of, say, Krishna asking Arjuna to kill all those dusht papis who were in front of him. So there he had not to, his dharma was not ahimsa. He had to follow the marg of karma yoga.
Especially the Arjuna, that when he was in the war, in Mahabharata war, that's what that was to become.
Everyone is different levels of growth, and depending on the situation, you have to follow different dharmas. So that is so. A sannyasi's dharma may be different from that of a grahast, one who is a family person. That I agree with. The dharmas may be different.
Yeah, that's why Bhagwan also says, no, keep the sannyasi aside. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan has also said, because their complete, I mean, their life is completely different than Grihasthas. So we shall go ahead with 21st verse then, Dr. Mara.
No, you read this verse. What I meant to tell you is, like when you're reading it, we kind of focus on it a couple of times, the same verse, that to make sure that we got those words, on the sloka. Like when Nanaji referring to the sloka, I have no idea, where that is, that, and also I try to say it in English. I don't remember the words. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys are better, but then the specifically that term, like mudaha, like instead I would say who lacks discrimination or something like that. So we can remember, okay, at least we know this verse 20 has this, we read that, we'll remember it when he quotes back to that, or we can even, that's what I meant to tell you.
Yeah, okay. We all are sailing in the same boat, Maraji. We all are same.
I know it feels worse to me, because
your
how
depth for the subject matter is so deep and so well understood. So it is not like that. It is just a matter of words. And okay, we I think, but we discussed this verse yesterday also. That as Nanaji had said, that Bhagwan is also feeling helpless and throwing them again back. Dispatch word he had used, right? That he sends
if
them
you
back
want,
to
I
the.
will read that. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, Asurim Yonim, the womb of the Anasura, Apannaha, those who have obtained Janmani in every birth, Mudaha, those who lack discrimination, Mam, Aprapya Eva, certainly not reaching me, Tataha, Adha, Adhamam, lower than that, Gatim, an end, Yanti, go. Arjuna, these who lack discrimination, obtaining the womb of an Asura in every birth, certainly not reaching me. Okay, who lack discrimination, obtaining the womb of an Asura in every birth, certainly not reaching me, go to an end that is even lower than that. Now, we didn't read that yesterday, this one. Because
Yeah, the
he says,
previous one we read. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, he says, obtaining the womb of an Asura in every birth. So that is born to Asuri womb, and then they're certainly not reaching me. They go to an end that is even lower than that. That's what Nanaj is saying, that he will be born to like animals, domesticated animals, then or the wild animals, and even lower birth if they don't get better or something. So yeah, anyone want to continue then?
Yeah, so here the word mudha is a kind of ajnani who like vivek buddhi, who likes. Right? That word we have to remember, that they are, again, because they do not know the self, and they continue being in tamas and rajas. So they are again thrown back to the same womb, which is a suri, or lower than that also. Anybody would like to share more, or we should go ahead?
We need to go ahead.
Yeah, Shilaji, would you like to read? Madhuriji, Shilaji?
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः Kama krodhasthatha lobha tasmad detatrayam tyajet. Trividham, threefold. Narakasya, of Naraka, painful experience. Idam dwaram, this doorway. Atmanam nashanam, is the destroyer of oneself. Kamaha, desire. Krodha, anger. Tatha lobha, so too greed. Tasmat, therefore. Etat trayam, this triad. Tyajet, one should give up. Jai Gurudev Maharaji, continue.
Thank you. This doorway to Naraka, painful experiences, which destroys a person, is threefold: desire, anger, and also greed. Therefore, one should give up this triad. So the triad that we are talking about, that what was the triumph it said? The word. Can you roll it down, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kama, Krodha, Lobha.
Like Trividam, that's a threefold, right? Trividam.
Yeah.
Okay. The Trividam is that desire, anger, and greed. That's Kama, Krodha,
Lobha.
Asta. Oh, Lobha. Okay. Krodhastada. Okay. Yeah, Kama, Krodha, Lobhasta. Okay.
Yeah, triad means that in Sanskrit, this
Three things.
English.
Three.
Yeah, Trayam. Etat Trayam means this three.
Three, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, God. Thanks.
From desire, I think all these things start. Downward.
Yeah, Kamaha, Krodhaha,
spiral.
and then Lobhaha. So you have to give up those things. Otherwise, this will lead to Naraga, which destroys the person is threefold. Okay.
I think the person experiences everything being on this planet only, heaven or hell, depending on the karmas he does, no? And especially these three, Kam, Krodh, and Lobh. When these three are dominant, then you experience the Naraka also in the same lifetime, isn't it?
Yeah, he said, yeah, you could do it. The people can have it this lifetime or the next life or even Naraka or wherever they go.
We will read 22nd. Anyone would like to read, please? Okay, I will read. Etair kaunteya tamodvaraistribirnaraha आचरयित्यात्मनः श्रेयस् ततो याति param gatim. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti Arjuna, etaihi tribhihi, by these three, tamodvaraihi, gates of darkness, vimukta naraha, the man who has been freed, atmanah shreyas, what is good for oneself, acharati, follows, tatah, because of that, param gatim, higher and yati, reaches.
A man who is free from these three gates to darkness, a man who is free from these three gates to darkness, Arjuna, follows what is good for himself. because of that, he reaches the higher end. So the three gates is that those three things: desire, anger, and greed.
Yeah, Kama, Krodha, Lobha.
Lobha. Okay. See, again I go into that. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Right. Okay. Got it.
These last two stanzas which we read just now and did manana on are the entire gist of the Yoga Vasisht. There they talk about liberation from bondage, moksha. And moh means desire. Moksha is a combination of two words. Mokashay, the destruction of desires. So I
Say
think
that again, Persiji. I didn't get that. Say that again.
moh
Mo.
is a combination of two words. Moh means desires, and shay means destruction. Destruction of
Oh,
desires.
okay.
So when you want
Mo.
liberation from bondage, you have to destroy your desires. One desire comes up, gets fulfilled, 10 take its place. So the entire Yoga Vasisht is based on that. So all this anger, greed and desires, we need to do manana as to what is going on in our life on a day-to-day basis with regard to our family members, with the people whom we meet in society. Where are we? This application of all this is very important in our day-to-day life. These are very
Yes,
important.
even as teachers also, we need to really observe these things.
Yes, yes. Whether we are teachers, volunteers, I say I am a student for life. That is the way I look upon myself. There's no discrimination. Even as teachers, we are doing seva only. We are volunteers. Our job responsibilities, our job functions are different. That is all. We are all sevaks. We are seva warriors. Then we drop the line between us and the others around us. And then when we have no ego, we cross over, then that is the realization of the self, I feel. When we feel one with others, belongingness is very important. That is why Guruji in his very first part one, the first thing he makes you do is I belong to you. Or Sanghachatam, let's move together. He comes from Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. So all this, like Asuri Gun, dropping of it, yeah, we make mistakes. It's all right to make a mistake. But then watch yourself as to how we need to improve. Otherwise, we'll become Vedic scholars. We don't need to be Vedic scholars. We need to realize ourselves, Atma. And for that, we need to watch ourselves, our actions on a day-to-day basis. These two paragraphs, I find them very important. Where are we? Where will we go with the way we are leading our lives right now? Where do we want to actually reach? We want to discover the self. Are we able to cross the ego barrier in order to reach the self?
We can do a little homework. Tomorrow we can discuss it again. These two.
I make it a principle. Like anyone who comes even for on the first day of the advanced course, I said, you want higher knowledge, what is the use of it unless you have put this? Because when we ask what are the 5 rules that you learned in the part 1 course, if they are not even able to remember them, that means where is the question of putting it into practice?
Right.
And then I pick up just one point, accept people as they are, and then put it into practice and see how your mind got disturbed when you did not accept them. Then who suffers? You are suffering by not accepting them. So like that, I tell them that watch your mind and see, practice every point. How your mind got disturbed whenever you did not put whatever Gurudev told you. Like he gave you these 5 points. Might as well follow them. Na? Otherwise, तुम कैसे साधक हो जो गुरु की बात नहीं मानते? What kind of a disciple are you if you don't listen to your guru? So if you are going to follow the shastras, then might as well read it. Na? Otherwise, if you are not going to follow it, तो ज्ञान का अनादर होता है. you're not respecting the knowledge, then you're accruing a sin onto you. All this knowledge is for putting into daily life practice to become better human beings. Jai
Yes,
Gurudev.
very right. Very right. Just one word again, I want to focus in the previous shloka. Shreyas and prayers, what Nanaji had just reminded us, right? Giving priority to Shreyas rather than prayers. Just that.
That go to the higher end, but then the price is more of worldly desires again, and it will go into that same route.
Yeah, Atmanah Shreyas. What is good for oneself.
Yeah.
We can go to the next verse, please, right?
Jai Gurudev, there is a knowledge sheet about Shreyas and Prayas, because it is a Daivi Guna to have a confusion. So mostly we are confused between choosing a Shreyas or Prayas. And very nicely given the knowledge sheet, I will be just brief with that. Shreyas is short-term pain, long-term gain, and prayers is short-term gain and long-term pain. That's what the sheet says, and it is how beautifully Gurudev has given that knowledge. It was just yesterday or day before yesterday.
I said put it into the WhatsApp group, it will benefit people.
Sure, I'll do that if I find that.
Yeah, thank you, Mrinalji. That's so wonderful. Should we finish the 23rd shloka now? Or Dr. Mara, are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
We can finish. I'll just read the Sanskrit.
Sure. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Shastravidhimutsrujya vartate kamakaratah na sa siddhimavapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Yah, the one who, Shastravidhim, the injunctions of Shastra, Utsrujya, casting away, Kamakaratah, being impelled by binding desire, Vartate, engages, Saha, he, Siddhim, the accomplishment of maturity, Na avapnoti, does not gain, Na sukham, nor happiness, Na param gatim, nor a higher end.
The one who being impelled by the binding desire, the one who being impelled by binding desire engages himself, casting away the injunctions of Shastra, gain neither maturity nor happiness. Here, so neither maturity nor happiness here, nor a higher end. So basically, the one who being impelled by a binding desire engages himself, casting away the injunctions of Shastra. So you're not following the Shastra, and he not gaining the maturity or happiness or higher end. So nothing, basically. So that's what the desire leads. It leads the person to. So the terms here is a Shastra Vidhim, the injunctions of Shastra, and the Kama Karataha, and Siddhim. Okay.
Yeah, Shastra Vidhim, according to the Shastra, and Utsrujya, against the, means they ignore the Shastra Vidhana. They do not listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like in Shastra Vidhana, it is said, no, Jagat is Mithya. Means, but they have the opposite thinking, that it is permanent, and that they fall. Kama Karata is a word, that they are always by their Indriya. They are always busy in engaging themselves in all sensual pleasures only. And those three tapa, no? Krodha, Lobha, and
Kama, Krodha,
Kama,
Lobha.
Krodha, Lobha. Yeah.
And then
So they do, yeah, they neither gain any happiness or nor they gain the higher end. That is, they do not have that Atma Sakshatkar also.
Yeah. Maturity is the Siddhim. Siddhim, Sukham, and Paramgati. Those three things, they're not getting it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Anyone would like to share anything, or we should finish this last sloka, no?
Now let's finish this last one because
Yeah.
of in length.
Yeah. Tasmaschastram pramanam te कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुर्मिहार्हसि. Tasmat, therefore, karya akarya vyavasthitau, in the determination of what is to be and not to be done. Te, for you, Arjuna, Shastram Pramanam. Shastra is the means of knowledge. Shastra Vidhana Uktam, what is said by the mandates of the Shastra. Karma, action. Iha, here in this world. Gyatva, knowing. Kartum arhasi, you are obliged to do.
Okay. Therefore, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you, Arjuna, in the determination of what is to be and not to be done, knowing what is said by the mandates of the Shastra, you are obliged to perform action here in this world. Can I read one more time? Therefore, Shastra is the means of knowledge for you, Arjuna, in the determination of what is to be and not to be done, knowing what is said by the mandates of the Shastra, you are obliged to perform action here in this world. Thank you.
This is already said earlier that you are obliged to perform actions as per what is written in the Shastras.
Right.
Otherwise, you will also land in Asuri wombs. Right? We have to follow the knowledge, put it into practice in our daily life, what is written in the Shastras. Or what is Guru's way. Like a Guru may teach you something, like Nanaji is teaching us, or our Gurudev is telling us. We need to put that into our day-to-day practical life. We have to perform action according to what is written in the Shastras.
Yeah, that's for sure.
One thing, initially when the classes with Chinaya ji was going on, he mentioned the Bhagavad Gita. So I was just going through that. In this chapter, the last shloka with reference to it, I'll just read 2-3 lines. What particular shastra do you follow? Was asked by Shri Ramakrishna. The answer was that Shri Ramakrishna says, I follow no shastra whatever. I plead with the deity residing in my heart for directions, and I act and live as I am guided by that being. Therefore, I have not made any mistake in my life. What I am made to do and to utter by the deity within would not come into conflict with the Shastras. This was the answer given by Shri Ramakrishna. I just wanted to share this thing. It was very...
Shastra is whatever we are reading also here, right? In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is saying what to be done, what not to be done, and all that. Even you follow one thing, which is the Bhagavad Gita is universal knowledge, right? I mean, that's you follow one thing that is good for us. Not everybody knows Veda. Edda says, right?
What I would say is that even when it comes to the enlightened masters, they are already realized souls. So if they already feel the presence of God within them, they may act. And as it is said, like different people, like Arjuna would have to do hinsa, he would have to kill. But for the other Rishi, Mandodya, it was not for him to kill anybody. He was following ahimsa. So paths are different. The dharmas are different for different people. Same Ramakrishna, he hit Vivekananda with his foot on his heart when he asked him, is God there? So all these things, what they do in their daily life, we are not them. We are not enlightened souls yet, is the way I look upon myself. I have still a lot to learn. So what
Yeah, it
they
was just a piece of sharing. Like it was,
yeah,
I found it very
yeah, the thing is,
exclusive.
right,
That
I
one.
agree with you that sharing is good, but
Yeah,
I mean, we,
we have to follow the
yeah,
classical.
we have to
It's
follow the Gita in this, that what we need to do, because
yeah.
the different souls may work differently. They may work at a different level
Yeah,
altogether.
this is for the sannyasis and
Ah,
the people who have achieved the moksha or the
yes,
jnanis.
yes,
This
very
is
true.
for that.
It
This
was
is
a
for them.
story about that guru who told his disciple to jump off a cliff. Totaram or something was his name. And the person goes and does that. He jumps off the cliff and then he comes uh, climbing up again. And the guru was not even aware that he really jumped off the cliff. The disciples saw it. Then again he comes pestering with the same question to the master. And he is supposed to be a little, uh, dull-witted. So when he's pestering the master, he again tells him 3-4 times that happens. Then the disciple says he's really jumping off the cliff. So the guru gets frightened. Arey, he's really jumping off and climbing up again. How is he doing it? How is he not hurt? And then he asked Totaram that why did you jump off the cliff and not get hurt? So he's saying, you told me to jump. I have so much of Shraddha in you that I jumped. And I thought that you are taking care of me. So he was hale and hearty. So that's it. Like they may behave differently, the enlightened souls, but we have to follow what is written in the Shastras. Jai Gurudev.
I'm sorry, on my phone, automatically the screen stopped. Just a minute, huh? You please go ahead with the discussion. As said, the time is over actually.
Yeah, it's the concluded shloka. It was the last shloka.
Yeah.
It's now only the this iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So shall I recite it?
Yeah, just a minute. I'll put on the screen, or you can.
I'll recite it.
Yeah,
Iti
okay.
Bhagavad
Okay.
Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasur Sampad Vibhag Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayaha. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Okay. Shanti prayer also kindly say, Savita ji. Sarve bhavantu sukhina.
Okay. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukbhag bhavetah. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Dhanyavad everyone. Wonderful.
Thank
Jai
you. Good night.
Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Jai
Gurudev.
Gurudev.